Hello, my name is Faith and this is my presentation. So my presentation is on Hinduism and Buddhism and how their beliefs are surrounding the idea of having a soul. So Hinduism and Buddhism have two very different ideas of souls. To start, what is a soul? The Oxford Dictionary defines a soul as a spiritual or immaterial part of a human being or animal that is regarded as immortal. So to start, in Hinduism, it is believed that when one's physical self dies, the soul remains alive and then reincarnated into another body. This body can be any physical or any life form, such as plant, animal, or human. The goal in Hinduism is to achieve moksha, or eternal freedom by the soul. So this freedom of the soul is achieved by going through the caste system. So a soul has to achieve each component of the caste system in order to receive its freedom. So the four components of the caste system are Brahmins, which are the priests, teachers, any sort of intellectual and spiritual teacher, the Kshatriyas, or the warriors and rulers, Vaishyas are the farmers, traders, and merchants, and the Shudras are the laborers. So as you can see, each level of this caste system kind of represents a different level of life. So once a soul has lived through all of those lives in a good moral and having done good deeds, then they are released into moksha. So moksha is essentially a transcendence, where the soul's released from the cycle. So unlike Hindus, Buddhists believe that once nirvana is achieved and the enlightened individual physically dies, there will no longer be a rebirth. So Buddhism says that while beings such as humans undergo endless cycles of rebirth, similar to the caste system, there is no changeless soul that transmitigates from one lifetime into another, meaning that there is no permanent self or soul. So no one continues having their same soul throughout different lifetimes. Buddhists also talk about energies being reborn and going on their own cycle, but just not a singular soul of a person. So I do believe that the two very different ideas of the soul between Hinduism and Buddhism is linked to their idea of having a god. So Hindus do believe in a god. They believe in a god or a universal soul called Brahman, and Buddhists do not. They do not accept the idea of having a god or acknowledge the idea of having a god. So according to Venerable K. Sri Dhammananda Maha Thera in his article, What Buddhists Believe, the Buddha's teaching says that what we call a soul is merely a conventional term that does not refer to any real or independent entity. And to continue, Buddhists also think that there is no reason to believe in what is called an eternal soul that comes from heaven or hell, that is created by itself and that will transmitigate or proceed straight away either to heaven or hell after death. So Buddha taught that for these reasons, the idea of having a soul is a speculation. He said that we as men only cling to ourselves and hope to find something immortal, and that those who believe in the existence of a soul are not in position to explain what it is or where it is. So because Buddha teaches that this is a speculation and that nobody can say where it is or what it is or what exactly comes with it, the Buddha advises that we should not waste our time with this unnecessary speculation and rather to devote our time to strive for salvation. So, to conclude my findings, I just would like to say that the two very clear distinctions I see between the religions and the idea of having a soul is that ultimately Buddhism does not believe in a soul, and Hinduism ultimately does believe in a soul. And I believe that the two biggest links to these religions and their beliefs on souls is the idea of a God. Buddhists do not believe in a God. Hindus do believe in a God. Therefore, Buddhists don't believe in a soul, and Hindus do believe in a soul. Because ultimately, a soul is tied to there being a God who created that soul and everything else on this planet, or other planets for that matter. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my presentation.